He's a charming young guy.
Yeah, Brian's a charming young guy.
I mean, also Brian is too. Not thinking about it. If only there was some superhero called the Uncanceller that could just swing in and save the day.
But now this throws off the scale.
Wrong.
No, now this throws off the scale because now it's like becomes diluted. Like if everyone's alpha, then no one's alpha.
Kevin, you are live.
I would like to welcome everybody to the 12th rendition of the Jake and Kevin Show.
What's up, you son of a guns?
Jake, how you doing? How you doing?
Kevin, I'm doing great. I've been chomping at the bit, waiting to unload these topics on your brain. Get your thoughts on them. I have some good ones for us today. I have some really good ones. I've been really itching to tell you. So I think we just jump right into it.
Let's dive on in.
So what I've been waiting to pick your brain on is, so I was going through my Amazon list, and I always look through stuff online, and I just add stuff to my cart or to my wish list. I think it's remotely cool. And also, you know that I'm a guy who likes gadgets, right? I mean, you know that about me. I like little bits and bobs.
Right.
So for no real reason, I added a while ago a police radar detector to my wish list. The ones that go in your car.
Yeah.
And they just go off, and I guess when the radar is nearby. So I've seen videos of them too, and they're cool. And I think they're.
Sorry. I was just messing with something, so I paused the audio for a second. And we're back. It was
Kevin, no problem at all. But if you interrupt me one more time, man, that's gonna be the last thing you do, buddy. All right, let me just tell you that. All right, so
police radio detector.
Police radio detector. So I wanted one. So it kind of got me back in the swing of things. I'm like, oh yeah, those are kind of cool. Then I happened to see a video of this guy doing a cannonball run. Do you know what that is?
No, I was shaking my head no.
Okay. Well, Kevin, a cannonball run is based off, and I could be wrong, but I'm 95% sure this is true, because I've seen a movie called Cannonball Run. It was this old movie. It might be a cult classic, but I thought it was just a terrible movie. But the whole premise of the movie, I think it's a comedy kind of, but it's
with Burt Reynolds.
No,
Swinging
no. Burt, isn't the guy that's Smoking the Bandit?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think he's in that one too. But it looks like a Smoking the Bandit, but not the same.
Oh, okay.
It's got a bunch of those old I think it has Frank Sinatra and company in it. It's really weird.
Oh,
the Rat
Intangibles.
Pack. The Rat Pack. Yeah, the Intangibles. But anyway, so I can't remember the exact start and stop state, but the whole premise of the movie is there's different teams, and they had a race across the country. Whoever got there, it was a road trip. Whoever got there first won a huge prize. So people apparently do this. It's a thing now. They go on cannonball runs, and they have obviously just all the best equipment. They have the radar detectors. They have a spotter in the passenger seat that has binoculars and stuff. I was thinking
they have a fall guy. Back in a motorcycle.
Yeah, dude. But I was, as someone who's never even gotten pulled over, I'm just thinking unrealistically, but how fun would that be?
It actually would be really fun. It actually kind of sounds like Smoking the Bandit.
Well, kind of. It's it's kind of got the same vibe if you watch that movie. But if you just imagine us flying. I mean, you obviously have to fly. You're trying to be at a really good time, right? It's all about time. So we'd be flying, and I think I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what point A and point B is, but I'm sure a lot of it's abandoned roads.
Are there any rules?
I'm sure there's rules, but I couldn't tell you them.
Is that if you have a certain vehicle?
I don't think so. I think you should have anything you want as long as you just can't.
So wouldn't a motorcycle be the way to go?
I don't know.
because like there aren't a lot of states doing like no chase policies on motorcycles now.
Yeah, because they just would usually kill the guy on the motorcycle, or
Yeah, or like
and
you'll
also you
just
can't even catch
never
him.
catch them. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
got that
yeah,
giddy up. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
but that kind of ruins it though. I feel like because like if when it's more like being invasive. Like you have all the equipment. Like imagine like
Mhm.
imagine I'm
That's true.
flying right, and you like we have the radar thing going off. Like, but you're like you have like binoculars. You're like looking around like a mile ahead of us. Like trying to
Oh
find someone.
yeah,
That'd be kind of cool. You're like, I got a bandit, 10 degrees. I'm like slamming the brakes.
dude. I just thought, and like we have like a basket of puppies in the car with us. So like if like they get too close, we like stop, like put a puppy down, and then like keep going. And they
Ooh.
have to like stop and like pick up the puppy off the street.
Yeah, or like a small child.
Yeah,
I think that would work too.
yeah.
But like, wouldn't it be cool if we did like in the giant? Like, imagine we did a caravan, right? And we're the lead car, so we like see a cop, like I see a bogey, and then like I would shoot like a Roman candle out my window, like to like warn other cars behind us,
Uh-huh.
kind of like Mad Max.
Oh, and then like we're the lead car, so we have like we like light like a smoke bomb out, and it just like covers the road in smoke. And wait, that would be bad.
Yeah, well, maybe not that, but I was thinking too. Okay, so not like the cheap night vision that like are literally just use infrared LEDs, but like a military grade night vision, right? Couldn't you
Mhm.
just like say you in the passenger seat or just driving? Could you turn your lights off and just drive in night vision and like they would never see you?
Say it again. Sorry.
Could you just like if you had good night vision,
Okay.
couldn't you just like wear that and then just drive around like just cruise like and the cops wouldn't be able to even see you because you have all your lights off, but you're just
I
using night
get.
vision.
That would be. I mean, theoretically, I guess, but it just for some reason there's just something about that seems still super dangerous. I guess if you had really good night vision, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess so,
Maybe.
right? No, but then so that's okay. That works, but counterpoint. So
Yeah.
if somebody like shines a real light into night vision, doesn't it like blind you pretty much?
Yes, I think so.
So like if you like oncoming traffic would just blind you every
Like,
time.
ah! Yeah, it's swirl away. I guess like
Oh,
also I feel like
okay.
Cannonball Run, huh?
So we invent these night vision goggles that automatically turn off as soon as they sense any bit of light. No, but
Ooh.
no, good, no. Okay, it's a work in progress. Don't give them our
It would have
secret
to be
stuff.
like it would
Don't give
have
them
to be like
secret
a
stuff.
have a chip in it and like be able to filter it
Mhm.
out. But put that in our good idea folder for later.
Yeah, that's a good
Anyways,
idea.
but I think it also depends on you have to have a cool like I feel like if you like there are I'm sure some cops out there maybe that they pulled you over and you told them you're doing a cannonball run. You think they'd maybe like, be cool about it?
Possibly. Like if like you're like, oh, I'm gonna be out of the state in like the next 10 minutes. Like like I'm gonna fly through like you're passing through Kentucky. No, dude,
Yeah.
cops in Kentucky are really
Okay.
mean.
Yeah, they
But
are. I mean, a
like if
lot of
you're in
them
like
too.
in a cool state, catch a cool cop, you're like,
Yeah.
hey buddy, I'm doing a cannonball run. Like I'm not even gonna be in this state like in the next 20 minutes. Like
Yeah.
just like I know what you got to do your job, but like I'm just saying like, and he's like,
Oh,
you know what?
dude. Yeah, that's true. But I was just thinking this. Speaking of cool cops, yesterday, some guy was waiting to turn out. Like like there's a red light, so like I didn't pull up all the way, so I like let people out. They're like waiting to turn right, and one was a cop car, so I let him out, and then he like give me a little like wave, which I thought I was gonna be it. Right? Like, oh yeah, hey, no problem. But he turned all his lights on for a second to thank me. I was like, I was like,
It's like an extra
but
special shout out.
yeah, I was like, oh man, you didn't have to do that. I actually dip with your chip for doing that, man.
Do all that.
Do you think? I think
cool.
we maybe talked about this before, but do you think we'd be cool cops?
Yes. Like beat cops.
Mm-hmm.
Like me and you with partners.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. So like kind of like yeah, would we be the cool cops then? Because like
Okay.
obviously like I mean, I feel like I know like
No,
your
yeah.
personality pretty
Yeah.
well, but like there's like some people who'd be like super sticklers, like like follow everything by the book, like nothing slides. But like I
Yeah.
feel like especially when it's us two, like and I'm not like saying that like we wouldn't be good at our job. We'd be good at our
Yeah.
job because we would give 110% like every
Yeah.
day. But like there'd be some
110%.
things we'd be like we're like we kind of like we kind of have our own way of doing things,
Mm-hmm.
I could see
Oh,
that for sure.
kind of like
The super bad cops.
the Ryan story. Yes,
The
I
Ryan
think
story.
the Ryan story. Kevin laid on him. Kevin laid on him.
Um, the only reason I don't want to tell that story is because it's somewhat incriminating.
It's not
Okay. Well, so
the friend
yeah,
story.
I guess
Brian. It's our friend Brian.
yeah, Brian. I thought that's what you said at first. Who is there another story?
No, Brian.
Oh yeah, okay. With the B, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Roberts.
Make sure the audio is clear. Brian.
Yeah. So, friend Brian. So Jake was visiting me at school. My friend Brian had parked his car in a parking lot. I'm gonna like kind of cut the fat and cut some fat out of this, but pretty much my friend Brian parked his car in a parking lot. And he had forgotten his wallet in the car. So he's like, I mean, we're at school, like all my friends are down with me. Like we're doing a little bit of partying, a little bit of extracurricular activities. And Brian's like, okay, well, obviously, like if we're gonna go out, I need to get my wallet, right? So he has to go to the parking lot to get his wallet out of the car. But like I said, we're already into these extracurricular activities, so he's not exactly like 100% sound of mind, let's say. So he's rummaging through his car, like tearing his car apart, like trying to find his wallet. And like a police officer roaming the parking lot, like maybe
Policeman.
like maybe just like doing like a quick like little like, like a little assessment of the area, whatever. Sees like this guy just like tearing apart this car. Like maybe he's like this guy like seems a little fishy, so he like pulls up behind him. He's like just like asking him questions like, hey man, what's up? And then like Ryan's like a charming.
He's a charming young guy.
Yeah, Brian's a charming young guy.
I mean, also Brian is too. Not thinking about it.
I said
So, anyways.
yeah.
Anyways,
I have a speech impediment where sometimes I just drop B's randomly, like out of the words. So like if I ever like sometimes I'll like, oh, I'm just combing my hair with the rush, but like really I meant brush,
Yeah.
Or like, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, let's go Randon. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. We'll let that one slide. Anyway, so the cop pulls up behind Brian and he's like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm looking for my wallet. And he like explains the whole situation. Like Brian's a pretty like charismatic, charming guy. So like completely diffused the situation of like there was any suspicion or anything.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like one of those like traveling magicians. They just kind of like use all the razzmatazz on you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're gonna arrest me? How about this thing? Like, whoa!
And like you're handcuffed to like your car door and your watch is gone.
Yeah.
Except he doesn't. Yeah, except he's not nefarious.
Mm-hmm.
If that word makes sense there.
What nefarious means?
Story is.
Anyways, keep going.
The story is floundering. So
get to that punchline, buddy.
So Brian's like, all right, like he like explains the whole situation. The cop's like, okay, like have a good night. So then Brian like gets in his car and he's like about to like take off, and then like the cop like gives like a double take. He's like, wait a second, I don't know if he actually did that, but I'm adding flavor. So
in there.
He's like, wait a minute, and he like stops. He gets out of his car. He's like, excuse me, like,
wait a minute, they got into a fist fight. Just kidding.
No. He's like, excuse me, like you're not like planning on driving this vehicle, sir, are you? And Brian's like, he realized like what he was like just about to do. Like he obviously had a conversation with a law enforcement officer who's like definitely knows what it's like for someone to be inebriated. Like maybe he like he wasn't gonna drive, but like I think he was just like making sure like his car was working right. But like he's like, oh no, I'm like I wasn't gonna drive. He's like, okay, good, because like that would obviously be a big no. He's like, oh yeah, I know that. And he's like, well, so how are you gonna get home? And then Brian's like, oh, what do you mean? He's like, well, like you're pretty far off campus. Like, what are you gonna do? And he's like, and he's like, 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 he's like he could kind of sense that like Brian was like just gonna wait for him to leave and then just like get in his car and drive back to the apartment. So he's like, here, I'll tell you this, because I can kind of see what's going on. How about this? If you beat me in a foot race back to your apartment, I will let you slide. I won't write you a ticket. I won't get you in any trouble. And then Brian just like looks at him for a second. And then the cop says, all right, 3, 2, 1, go. And then Brian just takes off running, just sprinting. And he just ran all the way home, which is like, it has to be like well over a mile, like a mile and a half. He just ran all the way home. and then I'm sure like, I mean, I can't tell you what the cop did, but I'm sure he just got in his car like laughing and just like went about the rest of his like shift, which I thought that's like pretty funny.
That's
They kind of got
hilarious.
bamboozled.
Well,
And if you couldn't tell, like Brian was probably like very drunk, like just based off like what happened.
And the whole point of that story is, I feel like that's stuff we would do. But
Oh yeah,
I don't think it's bad stuff. But we definitely pull some tomfoolery.
Like, cause like, I mean, no one got hurt there. Like, kind of like also like made Brian go the extra mile, you know, to like
legitimately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In all intents and purposes.
But who would be bad cop? Who would be good cop if we were partners?
I think we could switch off if we wanted to. I think we could. Well, because obviously, like I'm like the natural, like more of like the
douchebag,
machismo, like kind of like badass guy.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, but I think if you really like, if you really put your mind to it, you can put a believable tough guy together for at least like maybe
a couple minutes. It's like fall apart.
Long enough spurt to
like,
get
him
like
out of there. I might get sweaty. Like, Jesus, Kevin, get him out of there. No, he can handle it. He can handle it. Like, I feel like I wouldn't want to be a cop, but I would only want to be a like detective, and only if we were partners and we can wear sunglasses.
Oh, what would be the best era for us to be partners, detective partners in? So like I'm thinking like
80.
right now, like you said detective.
82.
Okay, that's a good era. Like busting
coke addicts.
Yeah, busting coke rings.
And we're in Miami.
I was also thinking like what about like 1920s like prohibition era or like back then.
Oh yeah, like the 1910s.
Yeah, like let's give Johnny the rundown, see?
Yeah.
You know, like something like that.
Maybe get killed by the mob.
And like our like life is in black and white.
Yeah. And no one shaves.
That Veronica was a firecracker of a dame, you know?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Obviously, like the 80s would be fun. Like back then would be fun. Or like...
Yeah. Whatever era the bubble bath got invented, then anytime after that.
So, yeah, when people are just clean.
Yeah. I just feel like... Yeah, people were just I feel like people were just like stinky all the time back then.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think anyone, probably no one shaved their cash and prizes back then.
Oh, yeah, probably not.
So.
But I think if everyone's stinky, then is anyone stinky? If you really think about it.
It's true. I think so, yeah, but I get your point.
Right? You know, it's like a baseline. Like if it's always stinky, then it's never really stinky. Unless like it's really stinky, then it's like woo-wee, stinky.
See, I'm trying not to say anything bad because, like, in today's day and age, Kevin, you don't get canceled, right?
Mm-hmm.
If only there was some superhero called the Uncanceller that could just swing in and save the day.
And what his superpower is? He just can uncancel people with like the faster than a speeding bullet. The Uncanceller can flip any news story in a single bound.
Oh my god!
So, like, what would be the example?
Did you say the wrong word for mentally impaired? Well, call the Uncanceller. Uncanceller. Bing! A magic wand.
Mm-hmm.
You're like your face just gets like removed off people's like Snapchat story feeds.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm thinking of like, I don't know what movie it's from, but like maybe it's like Back to the Future, but like you're like on like someone's like front page, like their phone or something. It's like you're like mugshot, and like Kevin says racial slur, and also it's like on Cancer does this thing. It's like it's like your face, like it's like Kevin saves local school from burning down with everyone inside. That's what you do.
Yeah. Or it's like Kevin says racial slur, and then the Canceller comes down. He's like, tread lightly, because the Canceller is a fictional character. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You just get yourself canceled right now.
No, trust me, I was
dragging you out. No, please, no, you don't understand. Oh my god. Yeah, that definitely would be like an actually worthwhile superpower.
Especially in today.
Yeah. Especially for you. You're kind of a sleaze bag.
Wow. I've actually done nothing wrong my whole life.
Well,
thanks to the Canceller.
Well,
Before the Canceller, I was
I was a nobody. But now, you watch my new hat?
Cool hat. Whoa, cool hat.
It's the Milwaukee Mushrooms.
Milwaukee? Is it really?
No, wouldn't that be a cool team name though?
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Goomba. What's like Goomba?
Oh yeah,
what's that?
Goomba.
What's it called?
Goomba.
I don't think it's Goomba.
Dude,
is it a Goomba?
Is Goomba like a racial slur for Italian?
I think so.
Goomba. No, it is Goomba. I just looked it up.
Is it?
Yeah.
But also,
Italian,
I think it's
also an Italian slur. So did.
Yeah. Let it slide. The Cancer's about to swing. He's like, wait, actually, the young Cancer cancels you, but before he just like beats you to a pulp. That's like their payment.
Oh yeah. Or like, yeah, he just beats you up.
But I don't know what you're gonna say, but I don't like it. But anyway, so I got this hat. I've been wearing it because I got okay. I don't know if this is the same thing for you, but when I go get a haircut, a lot of times when I sit in there, I'll be sitting in the chair, whatever. I'm pretty particular about my haircuts. Like, I feel like they get messed up a lot, so I'm very like descriptive. Like, I know exactly what I want, whatever. Blah 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 blah. But I go in there, and I always like I really never know if I like it or not while I'm in there. Like, they'll like show me it. I'm like, yeah. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh my god, this looks so good. And then can it?
How long did we lose him for?
Like 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you were saying like when you get a haircut, like right when you get it, like you're not really sure if like you like it or not. Like you're like, I know it's definitely different and it's definitely a new haircut, right? I know what you're saying. And then also you also have like the added thing of like there's a human being who just cut your hair. So like when you're looking at it, like you're like even if it's like not the best, dude. You're still like you're not going to be a piece of garbage to them.
Dude,
like,
I'm like even there's like something like wrong with it. I'm like so hesitant. Like, hey, do you mind getting that? Like, I always feel so I shouldn't, but like I always feel so poopy. Like, and yeah, I'm always like I always say I like it no matter what.
And then
it's hard to actually tell.
And then you have to like look at it in a because you're looking at it in a positive light because like you want like to be nice to them. So like it like kind of like tricks you into liking it. But then like you get home and like 2 hours
later. Also, you want to like your own haircut,
right?
So there's that factor. But like one time, you just reminded me, I was getting my haircut. This is like 2 years ago, and this is at Sports Clips, one I've never been to. I just needed a haircut really bad, and this lady. She was a pregnant lady. I never been there, so I didn't know who she was. I just got some random girl. She cut my hair and just pulverized my hair. I mean, like it was like nothing what I wanted. It was probably the worst haircut I've ever gotten. And to top it off, like that, it just was a terrible haircut. When she was done, she was like getting the back of my neck, but she was like I don't know what she was doing, but she was like really scraping like layers of skin off the back of my neck. It was like it was like hurting so bad. I was like, ah! I just wasn't saying anything because I don't. She's pregnant and stuff, so I was like, I was like, just like I was like,
You don't
so
want to be like, you suck at cutting hair and like your baby's gonna be worthless.
I know. I don't like throwing a punch in the tummy or anything. So I was like just sit there and took it, and I left. I was like with a tear in my eye. I tipped her. I even tipped her. I got home. I realized it was like just like all like it was like literally like layers of skin were gone. It had to like heal. It's just all
Yeah.
on horrible haircut. I don't know.
I like it that
I had a tip though. She was pregnant, so
yeah,
huh?
that's even if she wasn't pregnant, like that's like still like the classy thing to do. So like how I think of it is like if somebody like does a bad job and like you can like and like I guess there's two different versions of doing a bad job. Like one, you're really trying but you just did a bad job, or like
Yeah.
two, like you don't like really care and you do a bad
Yeah,
job.
that's when it's really bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Like if you're like trying your best and you still do a bad job, like you still gotta like you don't give them the what's for. Like maybe you
Yeah.
here's my thing. Like I know like people say like, oh, but like if you don't tell them like how they're gonna know they're doing a bad job, but also like sometimes like especially with like depending on like what their job is,
Yeah.
like they don't like maybe they put like for example. So we just took our dog to the pet groomer, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
and my dog kind of stinks, like in terms of like behaving around like strangers.
Really? Like how?
Yeah, she just like she doesn't try to bite them, but she's like constantly trying to wiggle out and wriggle around and just escape, just like constantly.
What do you mean?
And she's
Escape what?
like escape the pet groomer.
Oh, the
But like
groomer.
yeah.
That's just any person. Like what? Is that person trying to like capture her?
Oh well, yeah. I guess in that sense it would be a good instinct, but in this sense it's bad. So like you take her to a pet groomer, and like she's like a bigger dog, so it usually takes about 2.5 hours for her to get her.
It's
like,
really hairy, right?
yeah, she's really hairy. She's a hairy gal. So it usually takes
Big ol' head of
2.5
hair.
hours to get her groomed up, and like that's like wash and like cut and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And this time it took like over 4 hours, and we're like, what the hell's going on? And what the heck is going on? So we call the groomer, and they're like, oh, hey, we're just like wondering about like what time like we think you're gonna be done with our dog Winnie. Winnie's the dog's name, and she's like,
Buddy?
oh, like no, I just call her Buddy. He's my little buddy. It's like, yeah, it seems like Winnie's like being extra like wiggly, and she's just like kind of like really just like trying to escape. And we're like, yeah, like sorry, like she's like kind of difficult, and she's like, and like the groomer was like being super nice. It was like a girl like my age, probably younger. It's like a really nice girl, but like you could tell she's doing her best. But like because of like the dog, she like could not do a good job. So of course like we get Winnie back, and like her haircut is like horrible, because like you can't cut like an animal that just like does not want to be cut. You know, it's like it's like doesn't matter, like unless you like have them and like just like a huge guy just like holding her like completely still. It's like there's like no way.
Yeah.
And my mom was like kind of getting mad at like the girl for like doing a bad job, and like and she was like trying to give her like critiques and like how to cut like like the dog's hair better. And I was like, mom, think about like first of all, like it's not like being a pet groomer isn't like her, like it's not like her dream job to be like to like sit and spend like 5 hours like cutting like some shitty dog's hair and then like get yelled at, you know? Like you just like say like thank you and just like tip her and then like be on your merry way.
Yeah.
It's like we just like put her through war as it is. I mean, I guess it's not the exact same as getting a bad haircut, but like sometimes you just gotta just like know when to like take it on the chin and just like smile through it.
Well, yeah, but like it's like you said though, if someone like does a bad job just because they don't care at all, then it's like the complete opposite. Then you beat them up.
So would
Then
you like? So what do you do like if somebody like let's say like a waitress like is like you can just tell that like she just doesn't care at all?
Okay. Well, the thing is, I'm like an overly patient person, so like I usually just don't really care unless it's just like ridiculous. Where like they're just like not even like doing anything. Like then like I'll usually just probably like leave at that point. I don't know. I just don't. I just won't like confront. It was like because also this is another point. Let me just put a pin in what we're saying. Just make a little side detour. I don't like any confrontations with food staff people because I always feel like they're gonna sabotage my food. So I will like
Well,
never
oh yeah,
say anything to them.
you never do anything like especially before you get your food.
Yeah, my dad does that all the time. Like, so my
Oh,
dad's opposite of me. He's very impatient, and
mhm.
he will tell anyone anything.
Well,
Like,
I'm kind of impatient too, but here's what I'll do. Like, let's say I have a really bad experience at a food place. I'll
yeah,
like do everything normal. Like, hey, oh, everything was really good. That's what I'll say.
yeah,
Like, everything was really good. Like, it was awesome. Like, and then like I'll get the bill and I'll like tip like the minimum acceptable amount. Like, let's say
yeah,
like 18% maybe.
yeah.
It's like 18%. Like, it's like not a amazing tip. So like they kind of know like okay like all right like, but then like I will make a note in my head and I will say I will never go to this place ever again.
And then
And
also,
this I
you
have a
also,
list
yeah.
of things in my head. Like if I see a bad enough commercial, and I mean I think I've told you this before, but
Oh
if your
yeah.
commercial is bad enough, I will never use your product. So not
Oh
only did
yeah.
your
I hate
commercial
bad
not get
commercials.
me to like not get me to want to buy it, it got me to not want to buy it. So it did the exact opposite. So good job, marketing team.
Yeah,
Like
I wish I could
horrible.
like tell some people that.
Like and you know what? I don't even want them on the like as a sponsor on the podcast ever. Liberty Mutual, your
Oh
commercials are
my god,
horrible. Those
dude.
are the worst commercials ever.
I think
Like,
Liberty Mutual like I think they have the worst. Like
and
okay.
like, oh yeah, well,
Oh my,
good. Any
dude,
press is good press. Like, at least
dude,
you're
you're
talking about it. No,
no.
I'm telling you right now. I promise you that not only will I never use Liberty Mutual, but anybody who's like, oh, like like Geico or Liberty Mutual, I will fight tooth and nail to make sure that they will not use like I
I
will go out of
yeah.
my way to like make sure nobody uses your service
Well, like
just because the commercials are
here's
so bad.
I know. Well, what I think of it is, I mean, the commercials are so bad, like just so horribly bad that like if I had to choose between like that or something else without like knowing anything, I would say, well, I know for a fact Liberty Mutual is like they lack the basic business knowledge to be able to even like select the right person to choose a remotely good commercial. So I don't really trust
Yeah,
them with like handling, my who's he what's it. So I mean,
right.
basically, if someone told me like Liberty Mutual was trying to make the worst commercials as like possible, I would believe them. Like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, they're kind of doing a good job.
and I would say like yeah, they're doing a good job, but also they're they're doing a good job because now I'm not going to use it. Like,
I know.
and it would make I don't know what they're thinking at Liberty Mutual. I don't know if it's just like some out of touch like board members who are just like, this is how I want it, and like it just make it like funny and like make it
Yeah,
something that like the kids can relate to or
yeah.
like
What do you
whatever.
think? Like
Or
the actual,
if they're actually thinking like let's make our commercials so bad that like people will like talk about it and it'll just subliminally get in their head. No. Like I
well,
can't be
hmm.
the only one who thinks this. It was so bad that it didn't subliminally get in my head. What's like not subliminal, but like what's like just like it's subliminally getting in my head that it's a horrible commercial and I'm not gonna use
Yeah,
your product or
yeah,
service.
yeah, they're very subliminal.
Yeah.
But
What's
I don't
another
think
commercial?
I don't think it's them just trying to make it so bad that you remember. I think they're actually trying to make them funny,
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, because
which is the way worse.
you're probably right because I remember Geico went on a run where they actually had some like decent commercials and they were like kind of like off the beaten path and like they
Yeah.
took like a comedy, like a comedic like route to their commercials and they're like kind of in the
Uh-huh.
same lane as Geico. So
Yeah.
like I can see like oh like we got to compete with Geico's funny commercials. But now like Geico's like all right we're done with our funny commercials and Liberty Mutual's like oh yeah well like how about these funny commercials but they're not funny they're just horrible. So now
What do
they
you
just
think
like look
makes them?
they look
Wait, I'm gonna look it up.
they look 2 times as dumb because not only are they making bad things, but they're hacks too. They're like copying Geico, and they're doing it so much worse. Like Geico kind of like gave like this
Oh
is such a
wow.
stupid rant, but like this Geico like gave them a blueprint. They could have just like took Geico's jokes and just like changed them slightly, and like maybe
Oh
that's what they
yeah.
tried to do, but they like got cute with it. I don't know what they did, but horrible. And now it's like more to think about it makes me so mad because like the fact that like they spent like millions of dollars and like I can't even think about how many people okayed each individual commercial. Like how many people are involved with this, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's good. This is a good thing that we're putting out," and it's just absolutely terrible. I mean, don't even
Kevin, jeez, they really struck a vein with you, didn't they?
those commercials are so bad.
If they're made by Goodby, Silverstein, and Partners, that's who makes them.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like maybe they make some like other stuff that's better. Like maybe like this was just like kind of like they were like this is like, you know, like how like sometimes like art like music artists like try to like do the like experimental like album where it's like way different from the normal music they make. Maybe that's what Goodby and what is it, Silverstein's?
Well, I just looked up. This might be the wrong person. Well, no, this is it. Jeff Gooby, net worth, income, salary, earnings, biography. I don't know if this is true, but Jeff Gooby is a successful advertising executive from the United States. Successful, that's a stretch. He is one of the co-founders and serves as co-chair of Gooby Silverstein Park. Okay.
First of all, marketing genius, change your name. Gooby, worst name ever. Like that's marketing 101.
Like Gooby. Also an artist and filmmaker. Gooby's work has featured in publications such as Time and Mother Jones. What that is. Jeff Gooby, net worth. Okay, Kevin.
It's gonna make me so mad, dude.
Kevin, what do you think his? This is not right.
It's probably gonna be so much. Is it an M or a B?
Wait, there's no way. Well, okay. It says his net worth is $100,000.
Oh, but my God.
His salary / income is $4 million.
Okay, well that just doesn't make sense then.
Maybe he just sucks. Maybe he just sucks.
Or maybe he just like
what does he look like?
Maybe he does what all the other bigwigs do and just like hide all their money so that they don't get taxed.
He's gonna piss me off what he looks like, I think. Oh.
Yeah. I don't even want to see.
Oh, he really pissed me off. Wait, he came up with Got Milk?
He's been writing Got Milk then this whole time. He's been riding that wave for that long.
Well, I just see a picture of him that says Got Milk.
I mean,
that might not.
He probably didn't even come up with Got Milk. He probably just like had like one of his like assistants made it up, and you know he stole it.
I was thinking, or he just like got a picture of him with it, so it makes it look like he took him with it.
No, like definitely.
Look, that's what he looks like.
Oh.
I'll just say it like that. Don't be impressed.
Because I can't see it. I was like doing a fake reaction. What's his name? John B. Goodby?
Yeah. Johnny B. Good. That's how he got rich.
John Goodby. What's his name?
Jeff Goodby. Jeff Goodby. And then Rich Silverstein, the two of them.
Goodby?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Whatever, dude. Oh, we're just two fun guys. Look, we're two fun guys.
Okay, and then Rich Silverstein looks like if like an alien sent down like a spy dressed as a Jewish man to spy on us.
I mean, these guys for sure, especially Jeff Goodby. I can tell you for sure. I don't know. I can't really get a beat on Rich Silverstein, but like, so I'll put a picture up of Jeff Goodby. Like you guys already saw him. Like I'll put a picture up on the video podcast. But he's like, for the listeners, he's like this like older guy, and he's got like this long white hair, and he's like always got this like huge like poop eating grin on his face, and he just like looks like he just like, you can tell so much by like the pictures that he like is taken, like the way that is like he looks at that. As soon as like the picture gets taken, he just has like a pissed off face on.
Yeah.
And then like you can already like if something doesn't go exactly how he wants it to, you already know that he just gets seething mad, and he'll just throw an absolute fit and just like start flipping tables and stuff.
And I just saw a picture of him. He's in a suit sitting in a chair in an interview, but then he's got Birkenstocks on.
Yeah.
With
and
bare
like
feet.
He's like one of those guys who's like he like tries to be like all about like he's like probably Buddhist, like I'm all about like peace and love, but then you know that he like he's had like 17 assistants in like the last like 5 years because like they keep quitting because he's just a nightmare. Like you already know that.
Yeah. Okay. He's probably got to be number one for me. Yeah. And for any of you who are listening to us, we're against them now. If you listen to us, you're.
And Kevin, this is a challenge. Jeff Goodby,
Mm-hmm.
I will personally put me and Jake up against you and your little boy toy Rich Silverstein.
Yeah.
And anything that you guys can come up with, I guarantee
I thought you
that
meant fighting.
No. In terms of
Oh.
marketing and branding, I guarantee we can beat it. It's not even a thought in my mind. Like, oh yeah, like these guys on a little podcast. Like, what are they gonna? I already know everything I need to know. Like dorks. Like we're gonna like it wouldn't even be close. Like it would be like a landslide victory. Like it would
Yeah.
be embarrassing. I can guarantee that.
Yeah.
So we're coming for you.
Yeah. And if we start losing, we'll play dirty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, and if we start losing, we'll just like filibuster until you guys, like, obviously, like Father Time lets us win. Because let's be honest, like,
well, honestly, dude. So I don't know about that, Kevin, because with my high heart rate, so I got an Apple Watch today. My heart rate's insane.
I'm not gonna lie. Like after that rant, my heart rate's pretty high too.
Yeah, you actually got pissed. These guys, okay, it really did piss me off more when I saw what they look like. Especially like that long got this grin and this gray hair.
He's like one of those guys who like probably like he's like sits in his like yoga studio and he just sits there with his eyes closed and he has an assistant standing there with like a notepad and he just like says ideas and his assistant has to write them down and he's just like, and his assistant's like, all right, we're coming up with ideas for Liberty Mutual, and he's like, an emu. Like, sorry, sir, I didn't get this. Like an emu. Like,
I must have misheard you. You say emu?
Like the bird? Yes, an emu. And his partner is a goofball. And then it's like, sir, I don't. They made it very clear that they want a very like serious concept that they can like people take them seriously and like they're like a reliable.
Don't you know who I am? I make that milk. And he just fires or gets a new one.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So screw that guy. And yeah, this other guy looks like an alien imposter. If you look at if you pull up his mugshot.
Yeah. The other guy looks like an AI rendering of a.
He does. That's what I was saying. He looks like a spy, an extraterrestrial spy.
Yeah. He looks like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible when he was wearing the rubber mask.
Yeah. He's like a Zuckerberg-esque guy.
Yeah, Zuckerberg's like.
He's weird.
Yeah,
he's a little Zuckerberg. So, would you say Zuckerberg is a beta male?
So my first thought was yes, but I don't think so because wasn't like I didn't see the movie, but like that whole movie, like The Social Network, wasn't it like about him like screwing everyone over?
Well, I didn't see there, but I think I'm pretty sure someone else invented like and the two guys like slaved away like and that's it, I done it, and then he walked and just like blue balled them and it's like used their thing and
he's like hey guys, you mind if I join your club? They're like, yeah, Mark, come in, like the more the merrier. And then like 2 weeks later, he's like, sorry guys, but we've made a decision and you're out of the group. Like, he's like,
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly have no idea if that's what happened, but that's like,
well,
I think that's exactly what happened, and that's a. So
I could see, like how some people like they're not. So like they like don't have enough social skills to like understand what's like acceptable or not, or like what's offensive or not. So they just like shoot people straight. I feel like that's kind of how he is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well,
so he's like kind of like an alpha. Basically,
yeah.
she's just.
It's like social, like a. Yeah, you just like lack social skills.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I was gonna say, okay, so there's alpha male, there's beta male. Okay, what's this new sigma male?
I've heard about this.
I think it's a joke, right? Isn't it a joke? I always thought it was a joke.
Isn't all of it a joke? Like there's.
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh yeah, I guess.
I mean, like you can kind of like. The thing that like. Okay, so here I just thought of this, and like I think this is what happened, and like you can interject if like you think I'm a little bit off here, but here's what happened. So
listening.
before like modern social media,
Yeah.
and meaning like even like back in like 2014 when there was like Twitter, like I don't really consider that modern
Twitter.
social media. Like
Uh-huh.
now, like right now is like social media is like with TikTok and like everything, like there's like so much like consumption of stuff.
Yeah.
So like
Naturally.
before that, there actually was an ecosystem of alpha males and beta males, and like maybe there was like some like people in the middle, like or like alpha males who didn't want to be like d bags, so like they were like really just like they're like kind of chill, and like they didn't even want to be part of it. Like there
Mhm.
definitely like were like guys who like were like stronger, more physically fit guys who like kind of like were more aggressive and like took what they want, and like more like guys who were like kind of like more passive, and like they're like oh I guess that's okay, and like they kind of like shuffled
More
away.
patient guys that
But
wouldn't want to talk to someone in a
now with like
restaurant. I get it, Kevin. I
now
get
with
it.
all these like now with all this like consumption of like a media, like everybody knows about this ecosystem. So like now like these beta guys, they're like, oh, if I just like pretend to be alpha, like because like really like alpha is like kind of like what you put out to the world, right?
Yeah.
Like if these beta
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
start pretending to be alpha, then they're alpha, right?
Yeah.
But now this
Wrong.
throws off the scale. No, no, no. Well,
Wrong.
now this throws off the scale because now it's like becomes diluted. Like if everyone's alpha, then no one's alpha.
Yeah.
So that's where sigma males were created. So sigma, in my mind, and this is I don't even know what a sigma male is, but sigma males were the original alpha males. But then they saw that the alpha male organization was going down the poop chute because these beta males were realizing, oh, I could be alpha if I just go to the gym. And I was just describing myself.
Describing me. I get it.
I was just describing like myself in like freshman year of college. But yeah, so pretty much like people like me cause sigma males because like they're like, wait, these guys like these guys are pretending to be alpha, but they're really beta. I don't want to be like involved with these guys, so now I have to be my own thing. So now like people who are like doing their own thing, but they were actually alpha or sigma males. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, Kevin. And I reject that theory. I'm gonna form my own pattern, my own group.
Well then, so what are you?
Alpha,
are you
beta.
trying to be a sigma male on me?
What's Charlie? Would it be Charlie? What would be C? A, B, C.
Well,
alpha, beta.
Oh, okay.
I'll be epsilon. That sounds cool, right?
it's a Greek alphabet, not the NATO. I'll be foxtrot male.
I'll be epsilon. That kind of sounds cool, doesn't it? I just fly around. I just fly around and judge people, and like if I don't like them, they just disintegrate. That's an epsilon.
How about omega males?
Ooh,
omega
like from Fortnite. Like from Fortnite.
Is that from Fortnite?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Isn't like the omega?
We love Fortnite.
Get your money up, not your funny. That stuck in my head.
Yeah, so I don't know. If you guys have answers to what sigma males are, or like a better explanation, or like even what the heck is a sigma male, like let us know. I sure as heck don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Leave in the comments below what you think.
So how about this? So like, in all seriousness, I think like me and you are pretty similar and like the social level. Maybe you're a little bit higher because you're taller, you're a little bit bigger in physical nature. But like we're by no means like super alpha, like top of the food chain guys, but we're not near the bottom. We're kind of in the middle. Like what's life for what's life for guys like us? Like what we just like doomed to like kind of like float in the middle. Like are we like the hyenas of the world? Like kind of like just scrounge around for scraps.
I can tell you one thing: life ain't easy for guys like us. I'll tell you one thing: life ain't easy for guys like it. Could be worse. Well,
it could be better.
Yeah, I'm just I'm like a kind of cockroach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're just kind of like a bunch of cockroaches in the middle. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We just can't be trusted. We just can't be trusted around small children.
Yeah, can't be trusted. If you get enough of us together,
I didn't mean that in like a weird way around small children. I meant that like we'll just steal your small children and like sell them.
Oh, that's. I think that's how they knew that's how you meant it. Good. Because like I pictured it like if you get enough of us together, like we will find a way to like put that small child on our back and slowly scurry him away. right?
Yeah, yeah, like maybe use him for our Cannonball run or
Yeah.
something.
Like in the latest Indiana Jones when like the ants eat that guy. Kind of like that.
Ants. I saw the one with. Oh, that was the Mummy when the guy gets those bugs. That part always used to gross me out.
Oh, have you guys been to on the ride? I don't know why I said you guys. I don't know why I directly address the audience there. They
You
don't.
broke the
They
third
don't.
wall.
They don't deserve to be addressed. I just went super alpha on them.
Ooh,
Have you ever
nice.
been on the Mummy ride at Universal?
No, I'm shaking my head. No.
Really? Have you ever been to Universal
Yes.
Studios? Really? And you didn't go on the Mummy? That's odd. That's odd.
No.
When did you go to
No.
Universal? When you were a little kid?
No, probably 5 years ago.
Oh,
And they're like, "Oh, you're
Kinda-
too alpha to go on this ride." That's just said to me. I was like, "Oh wow, okay." I was like, "Oh okay."
so
That's good.
in a certain sense, do you think that calling yourself alpha kind of disqualifies you from being alpha?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, because I
Okay.
make the rules. See how I did that?
So did I just out myself as being a beta? Wait, that sounds like beta mentality.
Your mask falls off. Like, hey.
Yeah. People just start throwing like 2.5 plates at me and like blender bottles. Like it just chase me out.
Oh, okay. Jim's story, Kevin.
Jim Brady.
Jim's story. Jim. Not Jim Brady. Okay, so there I was working out on the cables. Like,
Can't say it, but
I
I'm
think,
jimming the camera.
I don't know what that means. I don't like it though.
Like
But-
from the office.
Oh.
You know when you know what it means.
Can I do that? But when so I was on the cables, right? I was finishing my workout. The last thing I had to do my workout. I'm just sitting there. And preface, I am not someone who gets on people, especially at the gym. Like I'll let anyone do anything. I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I'll let anyone do anything. Just like the only time I might say something is if someone's gonna get hurt. But even then I don't. Anyways, I think I might have said that. I was on the cable machine, kind of like okay. But one thing too, I always like zone off in the distance. Sometimes I'll look at people in accident, I'm zoning out. But this
I do
kid
that
was like,
all the time.
yeah, it's kind of bad. But
Like
anyways,
to the
this kid,
point where I'm like Mike and like sometimes I'll be like,
yeah, just staring at an ass in accident. Like, oh,
Yeah,
I've done
staring
that
at the-
before. I'm like, I wasn't even like registering what I'm seeing.
oh
Now
my
I
god, I
am.
was staring at the bunda.
Yeah, no. Like no. Anyway,
And, like,
so
her boyfriend's huge. Like
yeah. So, anyways, I was sitting there doing the cable machines, kind of like in between sets, just kind of like looking off. And there's like these two like little high schoolers are like benching, and this kid's benching, and this guy, the other guy's spotting him. But he on the bar, he's got 3 10s on each side, which is really weird. You know what I mean? Like, who does that? And it kind of makes sense more once the next thing he did, but still. So he's like struggling. He's like 2 reps up. The guy goes like this, lifts it up, racks it for him, and then the spotter goes like this, takes the 10s, and just throws them like this off the bar because
he slides him off.
Yes, because he's like supersetting. But Kevin, the thing is, this is a packed gym, and these benches are like they're like 5 feet apart. So one went flying, like hit the other one bench to the left. There's one flying, like hit this guy's blender bottle. I hit it like right this guy's legs.
Ooh.
And like I like just like stared at this kid. I'm like what? Because it was like really loud. That's how I was like. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like staring. I was like kind of like staring daggers at this little kid. This kid's probably
like the Lego City, like hey.
No, I was like this, like I was looking at it like that, and
you're showing your teeth to show dominance.
Yeah, and I was like winding up. Anyways, I was staring at him, and then he saw me stare at him, and he's like, so I think he's like, oh, one was like, oh, I'm sorry, so like he's like, I think he understood that it's like that's against gym etiquette. But I guess that's what people understand.
So,
but the thing is,
he learned. He just learned there.
He learned, but how would you not know that's not like good to do?
Right. That's pretty.
I mean, he didn't like just like go set it. He like flung them like almost like purposefully. So, anyway, what's my heart rate now? What's my heart rate?
I mean,
down actually. I have a weird heart, reverse heart.
I never want to. So I do agree. Like what the heck was going through their mind? But also when I look back to like when I started anything, or like even like when I started like working out, like I definitely was like didn't know what I was doing. I was a goofball.
Yeah. Kevin, you still are a goofball. You're my little goofball.
Oh, but
Hey, stinker. Yeah. Anyways, what were you saying?
doesn't it? So like, especially like when you're going like through your like not like you specifically, but when everybody goes through like
Menopause?
their like teenage like angsty years,
Yeah.
like it just seems like that like adults just don't get it. And like for the most part, like maybe some of them do, but like I feel like a lot of adults forget what it's like to be like they like pretend like they would never were a kid. Or like they're like, you know what I'm saying? This makes sense.
Yes, I know, but
This is why maybe like we would be like the cool cops. Cause like this is what we would remember what it was once like. Like hey, listen, we used to be like dumb kids, like
yeah.
maybe we'd like go to Steak and Shake late at night when maybe we weren't supposed to. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. It's a good old Steak and Shake. That reminds me, I'm gonna go. I had to go make some food because all I've eaten was a bagel, a piece of pizza from Costco, and then some jujubes. So I think I'm running
From where?
from Costco.
Costco. From Glasgow.
Well, thanks for tuning in. That was a great podcast. So thanks for listening to us ramble. Unpacking things with us. And Kevin, any closing remarks?
No closing remarks, but I'll actually we'll say, you know what? How about this? Cliffhanger. I'm gonna save that one for next episode.
Ooh.
So you know what? We're coming up in just a little bit before an hour. And thanks for listening. Thanks for hearing us out. I know it got a little heated there. Sorry if I lost my cool, Jake, but that Gooby guy really, I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't know that was his name. I didn't know that the Limu Emu was his brainchild, but man, that guy stinks.
He does. Screw that guy. He has long hair.
Okay.
Long, greasy, stinky hair.
Yeah, so the closing remarks for this podcast will be, do not ever use Liberty Mutual. Let's warm up those vocal cords. Unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York. Peter Piper, pick a peck up.
Unique New York. Zeranium.
Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat.
Give me a tug, my tugboat. Tug me off my tugboat. Tug me off.